Here are all the K-dramas that I watched this year. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now for today's video, I'm going to be tier ranking all the 2021 K-dramas that I've watched this year. Now this year has been a solid year for South Korea in producing such good quality content, such good quality shows that have been pumping out month after month. And with their partnership with Netflix, there's just so many more series that are just so accessible to the Netflix subscriber across the whole world. So if you guys don't know what K-dramas are, they're basically, in short, it means Korean dramas. They take place usually in Korea. Now the shows typically run around 16 to 20 episodes long if it's an extended show, but now there are series that are coming out that are half of 16, which is 8 episodes, and they're easily digestible shows that you can binge in one weekend setting. Each episode is usually an hour long, so they are longer than your typical American TV show, but I promise you, within that hour, you will be thoroughly entertained. So here is my tier ranking platform that I have set up here, and I basically only have 5 levels. The first one is technically my God tier, which is crying and throwing up, which is like so good. It's the dramas that I think about from time to time. It's going to make me cry. It's going to make me throw up, mostly because of my single status and mostly because that I know that these characters in these dramas do not exist in real life. Then we have good solid stuff, which means that it's a good solid drama that I thoroughly enjoyed. It's not something that I would go back to rewatch, but it leaves happy memories for myself. And then we have a good surprise, which are dramas that I never expected to be good, but then they all of a sudden turned out to be very gripping and fantastic by the end. Then we have Started but Gave Up, which is obviously dramas that I started, but I lost motivation. I didn't care about the storyline anymore, or something happened in it that just didn't make me interested in watching the drama. Then we have No Interest at All, which are dramas that came out that are fairly popular here in K-drama verse that I just don't have interest in watching because maybe sometime down the future I would want to go watch it. So right now I have 19 dramas that I did manage to finish this year / start this year, and I have no interest in, and I'm going to be tier ranking all 19 of them. So the first drama that we have here is actually DP. DP is a limited Netflix series. It's around 8 episodes. It's about Korean men in the army that had to deal with a lot of hazing and bullying, and it talks about like the psychological impact that men had when they went into the army. If you guys didn't know, in South Korea, when you are 18, you have to be drafted into the army for at least 1.5 to 2 years. I don't know the full rules for it, but they have to prepare themselves to be in the army. This one was set in like the late 2000s, and I really did enjoy it. I didn't expect too much of it, but I'm gonna put it into the good solid stuff because I really like the main actor in DP. His name is Jung Hae-in. I completely butchered his name, but he was in Goblin and he made a cameo, and that's where I fell in love with him. And now he's in Snowdrop with Jisoo from Blackpink. So really great drama. Really highly recommend you guys to go check it out if you guys want an emotional ride. So the next drama that I have here is actually Happiness, and Happiness is a drama about how 2 years after COVID, they started realizing a lot of people are getting sick again, and they're turning into these zombie-like creatures, mostly because of the drugs that they were taking to prevent COVID and to also treat COVID during the time of COVID. And these drugs were failed and nobody passed them, but they were illegal, and then people were eating them, and then that's how they're turning into zombies. It's definitely a drama that would never pass to be aired in Canada and as well as in America, mostly because of political issues and health issues and things like that. But in South Korea, it's okay. But basically we have 2 characters. One is in a special terrorist task force, and then the other one is just in the police academy task force, and they both get stuck in an apartment together, and now the whole apartment is in quarantine and under lockdown because zombies are taking over the apartment. If you guys are looking for a very thrilling show where it runs for 12 episodes where there are zombies popping out left, right, and center, then definitely this one's for you. Personally, I just thought that this drama was very iffy for me, mostly because of the issues that they're talking about are still currently happening right now. There are a lot of people who don't believe in vaccines, and there are a lot of people that have different stances on vaccines. So I was very iffy about how they even depicted it and how they depicted the government would react to certain things. So I was like not really sure about it. But the more I watched it, the more I liked it because it was just so fast and upbeat, and it completely made me escape into that world. So I'm gonna put it towards a good surprise. It's not the best drama out there. There are definitely a lot of flaws that happen in this drama, but I still really enjoyed it regardless. Next, we have this drama called Hellbound, and it's a limited series again. I think it's around 8 episodes. It's on Netflix, and I think there's going to be a season 2 that comes out. But this drama is basically a biblical drama where God has decided that humankind is so bad that he's going to send these creatures onto Earth to go take away these souls that are tarnished, that have committed a lot of sins. So these creatures literally hunt down people, and they tell them with this warning that they're going to pass away at a certain date at a certain time, and then that's when they kind of take them back to the underground and back into hell. So this drama was something that I was really highly anticipating to watch, mostly because I love mythology and I love stories about heaven and hell, and it's one of my favorite things to watch. But this drama took on a different narrative than I thought it would. It talked a lot about cults in South Korea, and it talks about how cults have such power over a lot of people by manipulating their emotions, by manipulating their thinking. So it talked a lot about political issues too as well. So I just didn't really like it as much as I thought I would. So this one actually calls for me to add a new rule because I forgot to add a rule about how you should skip these dramas. So I'm just gonna add a new role. It's gonna be called Skip, and I'm gonna put Hellbound right into it. Okay, so next we have this limited series drama called Move to Heaven. It's on Netflix. It's 8 episodes long. I absolutely bawled every single episode. Korean dramas are just so emotional for what reason, I don't know, but it's so freaking good. Move to Heaven is basically a service where they are hired to go into scenes where somebody has passed away and to pack up their belongings. So for example, if people died in their rooms, then this Move to Heaven person will come in, clean up everything, and then put all the sentiment objects into a box to pass on to their loved ones. And each episode tells a story of someone who unfortunately has passed away and their individual lives and how they came to the point of them passing away. And it's about how sympathetic our characters are towards these clients. Our hero is actually a teenage boy who I believe is on the spectrum, and he just doesn't understand people's emotions and commentary sometimes, and it's really hard for him to break rules because he loves to follow them so strict. Meanwhile, his father has to step out of the picture, so his uncle actually has to come in to take care of our hero himself. But our uncle character is very flawed. He loves fighting, he loves drinking, he loves being a mess, and he is an ex-convict. So obviously they're going head to head against each other in the small house that they live in. Meanwhile, our uncle has to also help with the family business, and it's there through the different connections with these clients is where he learns to be a better person. So this drama, I knew it was going to be really good just from watching the trailer. I just knew it was going to be really emotional. I also really like the lead male actor who plays the uncle in this drama. I think he's fantastic at acting. So this one, I'm going to put it towards good, solid stuff. It's a drama that I will constantly think about how good it is, and I'm praying for a series 2. So the next drama that I have here is actually another limited series drama. It's only around 8 episodes or 10 episodes, and it's called Mad for Each Other. It's about 2 characters who have to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. They dealt with a lot of issues in their past that they need to work out. Our heroine was actually part of an emotionally abusive relationship, and she has lasting damaging effects from it that she needs to, go to the doctor, talk to the doctor a lot, and work out her issues. She's very untrusting of others now because of her ex. And then meanwhile, our hero, on the other hand, has anger management issues, mostly because he's been doing a lot of these dark crimes and he's solving them. But then there's a lot of villainous characters out there who are harming society, and he can't help it. He just wants to murder everyone. And it's a story of them actually finding out that they live right next to each other and them developing kind of like a friends to lovers romance. It talks heavily on mental health issues, and it talks heavily about like crimes that do happen in society nowadays, especially with our heroine dealing with this emotional abuse. So this one, I was surprised that I really liked it a lot. I thought that it was going to be, you know, one of those dramas that I start, but then I just never end up finishing. But it was just so good, and it kept me gripped from the start. So I would say that it would be between a good solid stuff and a good surprise, mostly because it did surprise me, but it was a good solid stuff in the end. The ending was super satisfactory. It was something that was so raw and so realistic, and it made me feel like that these characters actually tried so hard to be with each other and being realistic with each other. So the next drama that I have here is kind of a limited series. It's season 1. There's a season 2 that's coming out next year. This one's called Yumi Cell, and I literally only watched Yumi Cell because of our main female heroine, who is Kim Go-eun. She played in my favorite Korean drama ever, which is Goblin. I've just been a fan of her ever since of that drama, so I had to watch Yumi Cell. Now, I didn't expect Yumi Cell to be so weird. It's based off of a web cartoon, and it's essentially about Yumi, who is our female heroine, but then also her cells inside her body. So it's half cartoon, half actors and actresses, and it's like half real life. So the characters who are cartoon are Yumi cells, and it dives deeper into the psychological behaviors of a person and how these cells react during different situations, especially in a relationship. It follows Yumi, who wants to find love and ends up finding love, and then going through the whole dating journey of, you know, starting the date, going in deeper into the romance, having some miscommunication issues, and having this other realistic view of what it means to be in a relationship. So this one, I would say it is a good surprise. There were some times in this drama where I started it in the beginning where I thought that I don't think I can keep watching this, but it got funnier and funnier, and I actually learned to really like the cartoon aspect of the drama, and I can't wait for season 2 because season 1 actually ends off of kind of like a cliffhanger. If I didn't know that there would be a season 2, this would be in the skip pile. So next we have a drama called My Name, and this one I actually haven't watched yet. It blew up right after Squid Game came out, and I wasn't in the mood for watching like another kind of like dark fighting drama. Honestly, like with fighting dramas, I'm like not too into anyways because it's just about fighting. I want something more realistic. I want a plot line, but this has been taking up over my TikTok feed for quite some time now, so it's definitely still on my list. It's not going to be like a full skip, but I just am going to watch it maybe like a few months down the road in 2022. So this one I'm gonna put as no interest for now, and I am going to watch it soon. I think it's about a girl who has a dark past and she fights underground to like avenge her past. Next, we have a drama called Now We're Breaking Up, and this one is about an older female falling in love with a younger male. Our heroine is a fashion designer and our hero is a fashion photographer. They both meet in Paris. They have a one-night stand. It's an amazing connection, but our heroine doesn't want a relationship for whatever reason, and they fly back to Korea and they see each other again, and he wants to have a relationship, but she's not willing to go into this relationship. So it's kind of this like really dramatic show where they both kind of like stand head to head against each other. There's also like a lot of like weird twists and turns and plot lines in this drama that makes it even more melodramatic and more crazy. I think collectively everyone on TikTok gave up on the show, mostly because the twists and turns were just too much and it just didn't make sense anymore. So this one, I'm just gonna put it in towards a skip because it was just a little bit too crazy. The only reason why I would continue watching it is because Sehun like debuted in this drama and I just wanted to watch Sehun, but even him can't save this drama. Next, we have a show that is currently still running on Netflix. It's called Our Beloved Summer. This one is about two characters who are enemies to lovers in high school. They started dating in university. They had a great relationship, but then now 5 years later or so forth, they break up. And then they meet each other again to film another documentary because back in high school, they filmed a documentary together. That's what started their relationship. And now the documentary in their mid-20s to late 20s is about how much they have grown and what really caused the relationship to end. So there's always like before and after clips that take place in this drama. If you're looking for an escapism show that is light and airy and more of like an indie style film and editing, then you're definitely gonna like this drama. It's a little bit slower than you would think. It's sometimes funny, but it's more focuses so on these two people who hurt each other really badly and who are too stubborn to really voice out their feelings towards each other and their lingering feelings. So Our Beloved Summer right now, I thought that it was going to be my new favorite drama because I love choi-woo shik. I loved him ever since he like did his cameos in Day 6's music videos, and obviously I love him a lot more now that he shot to fame in Parasite. But this one I am still a little bit iffy about, so I'm gonna put it towards a good surprise. Has potential to be solid stuff, but it isn't solid stuff yet. Okay, so now we have another drama called School 2021. There's this whole school series that takes place, and each year there's like a new school season released, and it usually features like the top idol actors in the dramas. So I literally only started watching School 2021 because of Kim Yo-han. Kim Yo-han is from WeI. He was like ranked #1 in X1, which is like Produce 101's like new boy group, but then it got disbanded because of like a whole lot of mess. But Kim Yo-han is my favorite, and I wanted to support him and I wanted to watch it. So at first when I was watching it, I was like, this is like super cheesy, but it was so interesting at times because of the drama that our students have to go through. Of course, there's a love triangle between our two male leads and our female lead, and you have to like decide which one you're gonna fight for. Obviously, I'm fighting for Kim Yo-han because he's my favorite, and it was just like such an endearing story. It's still ongoing right now, but basically our female lead has also been childhood friends with like Kim Yo-han, and they have been having this like weird turbulent relationship because of a misunderstanding. But then a new guy comes into school, and that new guy used to be childhood best friends with Kim Yo-han too as well. Then they have this like weird beef because of this weird past that they have, and I just really am absorbed into the story because there's just a lot of cheesy moments in this drama that make my heart flutter and that make my stomach flip. So this one, I think I'm gonna put it towards good solid stuff, mostly because I know that this drama isn't for everyone. It's cheesy, it's lame, but it's something that I'm going to eat up because it is literally candy. Next, we have a drama called Shadow Beauty, and this one I started because I saw a TikTok about it. It looked really dark, it looked really creepy and thrilling, and definitely it is that vibe. The way that they edited it is that everything is kind of like very shadowed, very blue tinted, very on edge. There's 13 episodes. They're being released on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Such a weird time slot because usually Korean dramas are released like one day right after each other. This one is also like a cacao series, so it's not like a traditional TV series that's being aired on television in South Korea. It's basically about our main female heroine who is not conventionally attractive, and she hates the way that she looks, but she loves photoshopping herself, and she made herself into this very pretty model, and she goes by the name as Jeannie, and she posts all these photos. She has a lot of fans on Instagram, and she gets a lot of product endorsements. She feels confident, and she feels the most happy when she's pretending to be this photoshopped version of herself. It's then at school where somebody starts realizing that maybe she is like faking it, and that they know the true identity behind this girl named Jeannie. It's about a story about how everybody is trying to reveal her secret while also her trying to decide like who she's going to trust. Literally every episode ends off as a cliffhanger, and it makes me so frustrated and mad when I see like these villainous characters get their way, and it's so freaking good, and I can't recommend it enough. It's definitely one of those underrated dramas that I don't see anybody talking about at all. So I think I'm gonna put it towards crying and throwing up because I know that this drama is going to be one of the best dramas that I watched this year. Next, we have a drama called Snowdrop. I honestly don't know too much about Snowdrop. I just know that it has Jisoo from Blackpink in it, and I love Jisoo. I think she's like really pretty, and she's obviously very very talented. But this drama takes place back in like the historical times of South Korea, like maybe in the 1960s, where there were a very like turbulent history between South Korea and North Korea. So obviously there's a lot of tension in South Korea, but it's about these two star-crossed lovers who meet, and then now the politics and the government wants to separate them. I think that's the idea of it. Honestly, I skimmed through the first episode and I knew it wasn't going to be for me. There's also a lot of backlash that's happening with this drama too because of historical inaccuracies, and lots of brand deals actually already dropped their support for the show. But this one, I'm gonna put it towards no interest because I just don't have any interest in watching it now. Maybe I'll watch it 5 years down the road, but definitely not now. Next, we have a drama called Squid Game, and I think everybody knows what Squid Game is. It basically took the world by storm. Everybody was talking about it. It's about how a group of people who are down on their luck, who really want to have like a lot of money so that they could pay off their debts, and they compete in this game called the Squid Game, where they play these like childhood playground games, and whoever wins gets like this whole giant lump sum of cash. The problem with this game is that if you lose, you actually end up dying and they actually kill you. So it's a very thrilling game. Every episode, you're kind of sitting on the edge of your seat. You're kind of anticipating what the next game would be. You kind of like psych out all the characters to see which character is going to be the villainous character, which character is going to cause the most drama, which character who just doesn't know what's going on and will probably die in the episode that you're watching. A lot of people turn into these like weird characters because of how desperate they were for the money and how desperate they were to stay alive. So if you're looking for a deeper psychological thriller show, then definitely check out Squid Game if you haven't already. I think this one was a good solid stuff for me. It wasn't something that I'm going to go back to rewatch, but it talked about a lot of like socio-economic issues that I really appreciate and I really enjoy. Next, we have a drama called Taxi Driver, and Taxi Driver follows the premise of you can pay for a service that helps avenge you. So for example, if a student is being bullied, that student can go pay the taxi driver so that the taxi driver's team can go beat up that bully that has been beating you up. So this one, I actually started it, but I didn't watch the last 2 episodes of the drama. I don't know why. I think it's just got a little bit too redundant for me. Like every single episode would just be about avenging a death, and there wasn't really like a connecting plot line that made me keep interested in watching the drama. I know some of my friends really liked Taxi Driver, but for me, I just have no interest in going back there to finishing up. Still a good solid drama, but I have to put it in started but gave up. Next, we have a drama that just literally came out today of filming. It's called The Silent Sea. It features Gong-yu. He was Goblin in Goblin, and I'm in love with him, so I'll watch anything that he's in, even though sometimes his stuff is kind of boring. But The Silent Sea follows basically the premise that the world is coming to an end because we have no more water. And now it follows a group of astronauts who have to go into space to discover water again to save the human race. I think it's only 8 episodes long, so I'm very excited to watch it, but I feel like that this could have the potential to be between a good solid stuff or started but gave up, mostly because sci-fi and me aren't that close, but then again, me and Gong-yu might be really close, so I'm gonna put it towards good solid stuff. Next, we have a drama called The Veil, and it stars an actor that I really like. For this drama, he actually transformed his whole body. He gained so much muscle, and he's so bulk, and he's so good looking, but I haven't had a chance to go watch it yet because again, it deals with a lot of political issues. He's basically a special agent in South Korea, and he has to protect people, and then there's a lot of guns, there's a lot of like espionage, there's a lot of fighting scenes, and it looks good, but also at the same time the political issues really make me snore. So this one, I'm going to put it towards no interest for now, but I have a feeling that I'm going to like it maybe 5 years down the road. Next, we have a drama called Vincenzo, and it's basically about a Korean mafia boss who needs to like avenge the deaths in his family and like keep a control of the crime in South Korea. I honestly don't even know what the plot is because I haven't watched Vincenzo. My sister keeps telling me to go watch Vincenzo, but honestly, I don't know if I have like the motivation to watch such a dark drama. She spoiled it for me and she told me a lot of the scenes, and I just think that that's just a little bit too heavy for me. Like, I don't want to escape into that heavy stuff. So for Vincenzo, I'm just gonna put it towards no interest. It would be something that I will like maybe further down the road, but definitely not right now. but I understand that a lot of people really like it and that there's a lot of hype towards it. Now, this next drama is called Doom at Your Service. Doom at Your Service is a drama about a normal female heroine who has a tumor inside her brain. So she has a terminal illness and she's expected to die. And then like the moment where she wishes that the world would just end, we have this mythological creature come down, and that is our hero. And he is known as Doom. And he is basically the reason why things come to an end, why things die, why tragedies happen. He is chaos and he brings order to things. It's like a love-hate relationship, and they have to stick together. They have to be together because of this certain agreement that they had with each other. And then it's where he learns that he can be a better person and that he can care more about people through love and also through their friendship. Honestly, it was such a dumb drama. Like, it had the potential of being like one of my favorite dramas of this year because it reminded me a lot like Goblin, but then it just fell through and it just wasn't good. And I just am disappointed in it because I wasted so much time on it. But I still enjoyed it for what it's worth, for the memories, because I really love the main female actress. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to put it towards skip. I'm not going to be here to waste your time. Finally, the last drama is Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. And we're going to put it towards crying and throwing up because this drama is everything. It's one of my favorite dramas of this year. It's one of my favorite dramas of my life. It's about our female heroine who grew up in Seoul in the big city. She is a dentist. She makes a lot of money. She loves spending money. But the problem is that her dental office is very evil because they like to spike up the prices for people. They like to make people do unnecessary procedures to make more money. It's very profit driven, and she can't stomach it because she doesn't like that. She wants to be fair in practice and she wants to help her patients. So she decides to move to a small town to start her dental practice there, and that's where she meets everybody in the village, and everybody in the neighborhood wants to meet her, and now they know her business and now she knows everybody's business. But she's a very cold person and she doesn't want to involve herself with these people. She just wants to be strictly as a dentist and be by herself. Obviously, the villagers are not going to let her be, antisocial, so they keep inviting her to a lot of things. That's where she meets our hero, who is the complete opposite of her, who is very self-driven, who loves to do like handiwork and loves to do a lot of multiple jobs, helping everybody in the village with like small tasks here and there. And then they have like this budding relationship where they hate each other at first, but then they start slowly falling in love with each other. I honestly love this drama because our hero was so freaking cute. The little gestures that he would do to help our heroine was so adorable. He definitely set the standards high for everyone, and I cannot recommend Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha enough to anybody. Definitely go check it out if you haven't already. But anyways, that is it for all the Korean dramas that I did watch this year. Hopefully this video gave you some recommendations of K-dramas that you should put up higher on your to be watch list, and I'll see you guys again next time in a new video. Bye.